saw first career NHL goals for both Casey Middlestad and Alex Nealon.
Those two, they got kids like Florida Weather. Congratulations to both of them. It's obviously a weight off your shoulders. I remember getting my first goal, and it's something I'll never forget. So
that was Evan Rodriguez. While the Sabres are locked into last place, they can ruin the Panthers' season if Buffalo wins. Florida is eliminated from the playoffs in the NHL. Puck drop for Sabres and Panthers set for 7 o'clock. Paul William Belt's pregame show starting at 6 here on WGR. It's the last game of the year. One more chance for the greater Buffalo area Honda dealers to give a WGR listener a 3-year lease on a new Honda CRV. One more chance to register for the Honda Dream Goal promotion at WGR550.com. If you're picked as the Dream Goal listener of the game and Buffalo scores at the 5-minute and 50-second mark of the first period against Florida today, you'll win a new CRV with a 3-year lease. No purchase necessary. Good luck. One more time for WGR Sports Radio 550 and the greater Buffalo area Honda dealers. Don't settle for less than a Honda. Round 3 of the Masters today. The leaderboard sees Patrick Reed at the top of the leaderboard. 9 under par, 2 rounds. Mark Leishman, 2 back at 7 under. Henrik Stenson at 5 under. Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth rounding out the top 5 at 4 under par. Tragic news from last night. A bus transporting the Humboldt Broncos, a junior hockey team in Saskatchewan, was involved in a major accident. 14 confirmed dead among the 28 on the bus. I'm Derek Kramer for WGR Sports Radio 550 for breaking sports news. Text the word sports to 550 550.
WGR Sports Radio 550. It's time to take a look inside high school sports. Now, here's your host, Tony Caligiuri. Brought to you by Mighty Taco. Mighty Taco would go great right about now. By Nino and Sapio Italian Sausage. Taste the difference quality makes. And by Dent Neurologic Institute, developing solutions to neurological problems faced in our community.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
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 I've got a lively crowd. This is
Morning,
Frank Wolf,
y'all.
WNYathletics.com, filling in for Tony Caligiuri for possibly the last week. Francis Beck is going to take over next week, so I'm out. But anyways, this week's show, we have Cheektowaga girls bowling, the state champion, the only team from Cheektowaga that's ever won a state championship. They're in studio. Tom Prince is here to talk baseball. Francis Beck, my sidekick at WNY Athletics, is here. We're live streaming today. We got Vic Nazzo, class of '96. Ken West, hockey is here. Used to play for Brooks at UB, Clarence coach.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, all-time leading goal scorer in UB hockey for national play. He had a hat trick against Kanazawa, Japan. They came here. Anyways, Tony Caligiuri is supposed to be checking in just a little bit. Did you say morning, y'all?
Yeah, I did say
Can
morning.
you do it again?
Yeah, Derek's. I think Tony's in, right? Is that what you're saying, Derek?
Yeah, look at me when trying to talk to you, Frank.
I've been doing this for like a month and a half, and I've unfortunately never really been on the same page with Derek at the beginning of the show. It's a major fail, and probably why I'm being replaced quickly. But Tony Caligiuri is on the line. He's going to give us an update on his broken wings. Tony, good morning. How are you?
How you doing, Frank?
I'm doing fine, but I miss you.
I miss you guys as well. Where's my morning y'all from Roger?
Roger is in the car on his way to the Butler Mitchell All-Star game. The girls are tipping off at 12:30. The boys are tipping off at 2.
Okay. Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm calling in with an update. I've got some good news for you.
What? You're bringing pizzas in 2 weeks?
I will be back. Tentatively, I should be back in 2 weeks. I went to the doctor Thursday, and he removed one brace on the arm that I was operated first. That was my left. Opened up my right brace a little bit more, so now I can fully extend with my left hand and just about fully extend with my right. I'm able to do a lot more things as far as taking care of myself, and I'm just excited that the nightmare is finally just about over. And on the 19th, I'll go back and they'll give me full clearance to return to work. The kind of bummer thing is, and I didn't know that this was going to happen, I was under the impression that I would be at full strength probably towards the end of June. He said, no, that's when you can start lifting 2 pounds at a time. So he said about a year away.
2 pounds at a time, so that's 2 bocce pizzas.
I think about more than 2 pounds.
one bocce pizza, either way. Well, that's good news. That's encouraging.
It is, and I just can't wait to get back to work, get back to talking high school sports, and seeing you guys. And you won't be in. Oh yeah, you'll be back when I come back, right?
Of course, absolutely. Are you kidding? I'm gonna roll out the red carpet for you. We might even have Chili Billy's in if he's listening. May show up with the ice cream truck.
That'd be nice.
It would be nice. He's long overdue for that. I keep reminding him.
You guys have to get me up to speed on everything that's gone on. For the longest time, I wasn't able to keep track of anything. It was very difficult. I couldn't computer. I couldn't, do searches through my phone. It's just the pain was just so much there. Anytime I went to try to do anything like scrolling, it hurt too much, so I couldn't do it. Wanted to concentrate on getting better, and I'm just so thankful that this is almost over.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the light now.
Yeah, and anybody that's gone through tendon repairs, those it's very difficult. I've had it done before on my shoulder twice, and but having both arms down at the same time is extremely difficult.
Man, oh man, it looks like you skied the K-12.
Yeah.
You got it. You got the reference. Not too many other people did, but you got it.
I'm ready for flag football. In fact, if anybody's interested, we are still accepting players. If you go to nfjfc.com, Niagara Falls area, you want to play flag football, as well as, or you can go to NASA website and check out if in your area to see if your Little League has or is offering flag football. So sign up. Sign Mickey up for baseball, and it's funny because the guy who I coach football with is the coach of baseball at Cayuga Little League, and he sends me a message. He says, "Hey Tone, we're going to be called the Yankees." And trying to break the news to my son, who's a diehard Red Sox fan, that he's going to be called the Yankees. So I told the coach, I said, "Wow, Nicky Josh dropped." He goes, "Never mind, I changed the name of Cubs." That made his day.
Very good. Very good. Well, Tony, obviously we've missed you. We'll bring you up to speed when you get back in a couple of weeks. That's probably the best news we've had on the show in a while. So, congratulations, and we're almost at the end of the tunnel. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
You got it, Frank. Thanks much. We'll talk to you then.
Anytime. Thanks, Tony.
All right, bye-bye.
I dumped the call. First time ever. Poor Tony. Derek, I'm good now, right? I can go on with the show. Excellent. Well, Derek Kramer's producing the WGR Inside High School Sports this week, and he's here all day because he's got Nate Geary coming up at 11 o'clock. But before we do that, Francis, I know you got some news and notes. Why don't you tell us what you have? What happened this
All
past
right.
week?
First, a big shout out to St. Francis High School athletic director and head football coach Jerry Smith. He spent his break by taking 14 of his kids throughout New York State visiting 15 colleges. Everywhere from UB to St. John Fisher, Utica, University of Albany. So big shout out to him for his commitment to that program. I don't know of another coach who they may have went with their kids on vacation, or I shouldn't say vacation, on break, going to play games, but he actually drove them around the state. Especially in this weather. So huge kudos to him. Williamsville North on Wednesday, April 11th, that's coming up. 4 kids are going to be signing their letters of intent. Rachel Juno will play field hockey at Seton Hill University. Kevin Haplern will play golf at Damon. Donovan Reed will play soccer at Mercyhurst. And then Vincent Canizario will join him by wrestling at Mercyhurst.
Very good. Do you have more?
Yeah, I do have more. And I saw a friend coming in, he had this huge Notre Dame hat.
Yes.
And there is another Western New York connection. Dennis Gilbert, alum of St. Joe's, is on the blue line for the Fighting Irish, and he'll be playing in the national championship tonight, 7:30 against Minnesota Duluth. You have Jared Benson from Canisius. He committed to Morrisville. And then from Kenmore East, my alma mater, Serena Sordetto, has committed to SUNY Cortland.
She put Kenmore West on her application.
I doubt that.
All right. Well, sticking with Kenmore East, they're hosting the Jim McNally Zone Run Clinic on Saturday, April 28th. It's an all-day event, 9 to 5. Open to all coaches. There's no fee to attend. Just email Bulldogs head coach Pat Veltri, pveltri@ktufsd.org to reserve your spot. Registration deadline is April 24th. There's something up on the Facebook page. You can refer to that if you want to register. And then sad news out of Section 5. It seems like every show the last month we've had nothing but sad news. We lost another coach. Legendary football coach Werner Kleeman passed away at the age of 76. He was at Rush Henrietta from 72 to 85. Combined record of 95, 25, and 4, 6 league titles, 2 undefeated teams, a 21-game winning streak. I went through his obituary. It shows that he actually coached at UB. So he will be missed. He's a Hall of Famer. And he has this quote. It's an excellent quote, and it rings true to this day. He says, "You will never get rich as a coach. You never get rich as an educator, but you get rich with the experiences and friendships." And that, Dan, I'm sure you can speak the same way because you've been coaching for quite a while. It definitely rings true. So he will be missed out of Section 5. I want to make sure that we mention his passing. Bobby Carnevale was here last week. The Butler Mitchell All-Star Games for boys and girls are going on today at Canisius High School. The girls tip off at 12:30, the boys at 2 p.m. So with that, news and notes, I did forget something. Ken West, Ken East Baseball mattress sale today. Need a new mattress?
I'm good, I think.
All right, well, if you're in the Kenton area, Johnny Haynes and Les Simon, that's why he's not here, they have the mattress sale going on. We'll be talking to Tom Prince in just a little bit about baseball, but before we do that, we have to pay our respects to this wonderful bowling team from Cheektowaga. The girls varsity bowling team is here. We have, I'm going to butcher their names, Paige Onisk. Onisk. We rehearsed that before we went on.
Yeah, 50-50.
All right. And Krista, I'm not even going to pronounce it. I should. Hochter? Okay, I got it. They are here along with head coach Dan Kaplan. Let's run through the season here. Dan, you were a little worried heading into the season, if I remember, but you thought by the end of the year, your girls would be able to turn it around and make a nice run at states, and here you are, state champions.
Yeah, very, very proud of them. They came in this year. They won sectionals last year, so coming in, everyone was back, so obviously we knew there was an opportunity. And the state decided this year is the first year they're going to break the bowling into large school, small school divisions. So Cheektowaga is right below the 600 cutoff line that the state set. So on top of having everyone back, then they finished 3rd overall last year. Now they've eliminated the large school teams like Orchard Park, Niagara Falls, Frontier. So that kind of opened up the door a little bit more. So I knew they had an opportunity to at least win sectionals and possibly go to states. And during the season, we had a couple speed bumps. We had the 2 girls both sitting with me today. Both suffered broken fingers on their bowling hand. One of them did it in my class, trying to dive for a volleyball, but that's another story, another day. But obviously, when sectionals came around, they were healthy, and right before sectionals, we entered a tournament, and they won the whole thing. And this was against Orchard Park and Frontier and all those top teams. So that kind of, I think it gave the girls a little confidence, and it kind of opened up their eyes that maybe they do have a chance to do this. And then they won sectionals, and it took them to states where anything can happen. And you know what? They stepped up real nice at states. So it was a good experience, and I'm happy for the girls. And yeah, they deserved it. They put in a lot of time.
Girls, when you found out that they were going to split it up into large school, small school, did that give you a little bit of extra boost that you could actually make it at states? It was really open for you guys.
Yeah, I definitely think so. We definitely thought we had a lot better chance to go when they split it up than we did before.
Right before sectionals, the tournament we went in was called the Section 6 Invitational, with everyone that was pretty much going to compete at sectionals. But they, on top of winning against even the large schools, the closest small school was about 500 pins away. So I think kind of walking out of that, just looking at the numbers, and the fun thing about bowling is numbers don't lie. I mean, they tell a good story, not the whole story, but walking out of that, I mean, that they were brimming with confidence, and so were we as coaches. We kind of felt, wow, that kind of shows they can run with the best teams, Division 1 or 2, small or large. So that was kind of the big eye opener for us.
Now, I know at states, it's a little different. For those that don't follow bowling, do they build a bowling alley, so to speak, or a central location for everyone to come to? Because I saw a lot of pictures on Facebook, Twitter, about this location? It looked like the mecca of bowling to me. Where was it? And just talk about that experience in the venue.
This was kind of a once-in-a-lifetime experience this year. Normally, it's in a regular bowling house. So, like 2 years ago, Buffalo, we hosted it at Airport Lanes. It's always, when it's in Syracuse, it's in Strice and Spares, which is one of the biggest houses. But this year, USBC, and actually as we speak, they usually bowl on the West Coast. They usually bowl in Reno or Vegas, where all the pros come for like 2 months. They pick their time when they're coming, so they literally build it. Well, they come to the East Coast once every 15 to 20 years. This year, they chose Syracuse. So when we, as a state, knew it a couple years ago, they were coming to Syracuse, we, our representatives from our state went to USBC to see if we could get on those lanes. So we actually, the kids got on the lanes. They came into the On Center in Syracuse. They built it. And the kids actually got on it before the pros, who are now on it every weekend now for the next 2 months. But so this was a special experience. This wasn't just in a regular house. This was like a mecca. This was a once in a lifetime. I think if you ask the kids, they all kind of walked in all wide-eyed, because above the lanes were big lit scoreboards with their names on them. I mean, it was special. And there's if you go on some of the websites for USBC, it'll show you how they built it piece by piece. So it was, the kids that went this year really got an extra special experience. It's one thing to go to states, but this year was special.
The other thing was, we had New York State Section 6 hosted states just a couple of years ago. Now, is that bid every year, every 3 years, like some of the other major sports? And if so, when will it come back to Western New York?
They've changed in the last few years. Obviously, bowling's different because some of the sections don't even have houses big enough to host something as big as states. So there really has been limited places, and Buffalo is one of them because the airport's big enough. Long Island has one. So as a section chair, I've kind of always talked with a Long Island guy that, listen, I don't want to make that 11-hour ride out to Long Island. He doesn't want to make it to Buffalo. We've kind of avoided, they for a while they wanted Central, it was always Syracuse. Now the state made it, if you host it, you have to host it for 3 years. So Syracuse is on the hook for 3 years. Now they're looking to see, when their 3-year term is up, who is going to step in after that. And hosting it for 1 year is a lot of work. I'm not ready.
Because you did it.
We did it for 1 year.
Yeah.
Now that they've made the commitment 3 years. So Coach Ventry and I mean, it's so much work that, do we really want to do it for a 3-year commitment? One just beat us up. I mean, it's 2 weeks after sectionals, and sectionals takes a lot out of you. So we're not in a rush to do it, because I know if I do it for 3 years, I know Long Island is going to jump right on it. And then that means 3 long trips, and it's a lot of work running it. And you're really calling out all your favorites with all the coaching friends, and it takes a lot of work to do it. So I don't know where it's going next. I can tell you where it's not coming next, and that's about it. It's not coming here, not in the next 3 years.
All right, Krista, your favorite moment from this past season, and you're graduating. Are you going to bowl at the next level? What's next for Krista?
I'm not going to Long College, just because not a lot of colleges have a good, like, bowling program. But I am going pre-med at some place that I haven't decided yet. And yeah, that's it. My favorite moment was probably coming back and bowling in the tournament, the Section 6 Invitational, and beating Orchard Park and everybody.
Excellent. Paige, how about you? Same question.
My favorite moment was probably when we found out that we were going to states, and when we won sectionals. I think it was the 8th frame. I kind of figured it out. I was just like, I was mad that game, so I was like crying because of the game, and then crying because we won. But after, I don't know yet. I plan on going to college. Don't know what for yet. We'll see.
Well, I mean, from all of us, we were rooting you guys on from afar, if you will. We were kind of watching along on Twitter from the studio that morning. So we kind of knew what was going on, but it's tough, you know. So I know you don't want to bring it back to New York because all the work involved, and I totally understand that. But when we were covering states for bowling, it was quite exciting for us to watch, especially the kids we have from Section 6 participating, and the Monsignor Martins too. We follow along them as well. But this was an incredible moment for Cheektowaga, and I'm sure it's something you guys will never forget. You're always going to be a part of a state championship team. Do you get rings?
We're looking into that now. I think the school doesn't know what to do, just because we've never won a state title, so there's been no precedent in any sports team on what to do. Like, there's banners in the gym for each team for sectional and division, and I'm like, well, there should be a separate one for states, and they don't know, so.
Well, okay, why don't you read off the other names of the girls that aren't here able to join us today, before we wrap up this segment?
Alright, first is senior Emily Crone. Now, Emily was high score for all of states at that weekend. Not only for the girls on the Division II, she outshot all the boys. So Emily had a career day, and she picked the biggest stage to do it, and we're very proud of her. Emily was a 6-year girl. She finished 5th at sectionals, but states, she went out and pretty much showed everyone that she was clearly one of the best in the state. So we're very proud of what Emily did. Emily's had a good career with us. She's definitely one of the seniors we're going to miss. Junior Caitlin Kirst, junior Sarah Hensinski, sophomore Emma Rome, and sophomore Alyssa Chorzak. So we got to go to a good core coming back next year. Obviously, the 3 we're losing are gonna hurt, but hopefully the experience with the girls that they have this year is going to help us get us back there again. Because I think if you ask anyone that goes to states, you want to get back there. It's hard to get back again. I mean, I see it every year as a chair, but I'm glad my girls got the experience with me this year. So it was a good experience for me as the chair, but obviously being like a proud father here, having the kids come along with and seeing them win was awesome.
Well, we really appreciate you guys coming on today. Best of luck in the future, whatever you girls decide to do. Hopefully we don't stop seeing your name in the paper. Hopefully you continue bowling, and Dan, I'm sure we'll see you again. But
Thank you for having
congratulations again. So that was the girls varsity team from Cheektowaga, the bowling team that just won states about a month and a half ago or so. And we're going to come back in the second segment with Tom Prince to talk about Western New York baseball at the high school level. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Are you dissatisfied with your current job? Looking to start a new career? Go to
Excellent.
trainingtoday.com.
You guys are naturals. They're gonna create a show for you.
Yeah, we're not gonna do it. My phone's up there.
I'll get a picture of you guys over there all together, and Mom too.
We're currently hiring for positions.
You survived.
Service and delivery, sales and
Let me in again.
lot of technical
Good luck.
customer service,